चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये.
Okay. So we'll begin the next chapter. After the Dhritarashtra achieved the perfection of human form of life, the 14th chapter is a heavy chapter. After Dhritarashtra disappearance, it details about the disappearance of Lord Shri Krishna, the disappearance of Lord Krishna. Can anyone connect how suddenly from Dhritarashtra, now Suta Goswami is going to talk about disappearance of Lord Krishna? What is the connection between the 13th chapter and this chapter? Madan Sarup Prabhu has the answer, but that is due to Subodhini.
I haven't seen Subodhini.
Okay, then please speak.
It is given in one of the slokas that you wait till the Krishna he leaves the abode.
No, it is said that you wait for Krishna's plan. That is the, which verse is that?
Somewhere in 50s, I think.
Yes, it is the 50th verse, where Narad Muni, because Maharaj Yudhishthira was becoming very impatient, he immediately wanted to bring back Dhritarashtra, Vidura and Gandhari. So what is the plan for Pandavas? What the Lord desires from them? So here Narad Muni indicates that the Lord has already performed his duties to help the demigods and he is awaiting the rest. You Pandavas may wait as long as the Lord is here on earth. So there, this hint was given that Krishna has already completed his duties. He had come to rescue and help the demigods. So that mission is over. So here is the connection. So Yudhishthira Maharaj took this hint. He got this information that the Lord would depart. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Advaitacharya, he speaks in a very funny way in Jagannath Puri. He tells Lord that there are no one there to buy rice. There is no one to take rice. Meaning that there are no one else who will become customers, and for what you have come, your mission is completed. So you return back. In a way, he is telling Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Suta uvacha sampratisthe dwarkaya Jishno bandhu didirkshaya Gnatum cha punya slokasya Krishnasya cha vicheshtitam. Sud Goswami said Arjuna went to Dwarka to see Lord Krishna. Why did Arjuna went to Dwarka? Because the hint was dropped by Narad Muni and other friends, and also to learn from the Lord of his next activities. Because there, Narad Muni told them that you please wait unless the Lord gives you some direction. So what will be the next activities of the Pandavas to get clear directive? Maharaj Yudhishthira sent Arjuna to Dwarka. So that is what Sud Goswami is beginning this chapter with. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord descended to earth for the protection of the faithful and the annihilation of the impious. So after the battle of Kurukshetra and establishment of Maharaj Yudhishthir, the mission of the Lord was complete. The Pandavas, especially Sri Arjuna, are eternal companions of the Lord, and therefore Arjuna went to Dwarka to hear from the Lord of his next program of work. Vyatita kati chinmasas tadanaya taro Arjuna dadarsha ghor rupani nimittani kurudvaha. A few months passed and Arjuna did not return. Maharaj Yudhishthira then began to observe some inauspicious omens, which were fearful in themselves. So Arjuna went and there is no sign of return and there is no news. And whatever the events are happening that are fearful in themselves, some inauspicious things were unfolding. Lord Shri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is infinitely more powerful than the most powerful sun of our experience. Millions and billions of suns are created by him and annihilated by him within his one breathing period. In the material world, the sun is considered to be the source of all productivity and material energy. And only due to the sun can we have the necessities of life. Therefore, during the personal presence of the Lord on the earth, all paraphernalia for our peace and prosperity, especially religion and knowledge, were in full display because of the Lord's presence. Just as there is a full flood of light in the presence of the glowing sun, Maharaj Yudhishthira observed some discrepancies in his kingdom, and therefore he became very anxious about Arjuna, who was long absent, and there was no news about Dwarka's well-being. He suspected the disappearance of Lord Krishna, otherwise there would have been no possibility of fearful omens. Kalascha gatim rodram viparya astratu dharmina papisham nirnam vartam papisham nirnam vartam krodha lobha anarthatmanam. He saw that the direction of eternal time has changed, and this was very fearful. There were disruptions in the seasonal regularities. After summer comes the rainy season, and then comes winter, but there was some cyclical or seasonal irregularities. The people in general had become very greedy, angry, and deceitful, and he saw that they were adopting foul means of livelihood. So these are all indications of degradation. When civilization is disconnected from the loving relation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, symptoms like changes of seasonal regulations, foul means of livelihood. What is the foul means of livelihood? Prabhupada says, symptoms like changes of seasonal regulations, foul means of livelihood. What is foul means of livelihood? One is the foul way and the other is the fair way of livelihood. Okay, Madan Suruprabhu, what is the foul way of livelihood?
Sources of livelihood is not fair, or they are unfair and illegal.
Yes. They resort to sinful activity. Namely, they perform sinful activity to earn their livelihood. Anger, greed, and fraudulence becomes rampant, The change of seasonal regulations refer to one season's atmosphere becoming manifest in another season. For example, the rainy season being transferred to autumn, or the fructification of fruits and flowers from one season in another season. A godless man is invariably greedy, angry, and fraudulent. Such a man can earn his livelihood by any means, black or white. During the reign of Maharaj Yudhishthir, all the above symptoms were conspicuous by their absence. But Maharaj Yudhishthir was astonished to experience even a slight change in the godly atmosphere of his kingdom. And at once, he suspected the disappearance of the Lord. Foul means of livelihood indicates deviation from one's occupational duties. What we were expecting and what Srila Prabhupada is here recommending is different. Deviation from one's occupational duties. There are prescribed duties for everyone, such as Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. But anyone who deviates from his prescribed duty and still declares that he belongs to an original social class is following a foul means of livelihood. A man becomes too greedy for wealth and power, and when he has no higher objective in life, and when he thinks that his earthly life of a few years is all in all, ignorance is the cause of all these anomalies in human society. And to remove this ignorance, especially in the age of degradation, the powerful sun in the shape of Srimad Bhagavatam is there to distribute light. What is the shloka? We all learned and recited that Srimad Bhagavatam is there to distribute light. Where Srimad Bhagavatam is compared to light. And what light? Which kind of light? What are the verses? So many verses on Srimad Bhagavatam compared to light. In the second chapter, the third chapter. Yes, Priyanka?
Prabhuji, Asmanubhavam Akhila Sruti Saram Adhyatma Deepam.
Yeah, it is Adhyatma Deepam. Atitirthishtam Tama Andham. Okay. Very good. This is one. Yeah.
There is another.
Yeah.
Krishna Swadhama Upagate Dharma Jnana Adhivishah Kalau Nashta Drisamesha Purana Arko Adhunadita.
Very nice. Wonderful. Purano Arko Adhunodita. So like the Arka is the sun. So it has risen to dissipate the dense darkness of ignorance in the heart. Very good. Perfect. Both the examples, both the shlokas are perfect. Ignorance is the cause of all these anomalies in human society, and to remove this ignorance, especially in the age of degradation, the powerful sun in the shape of Srimad Bhagavatam is there to distribute light. Exactly, it is Purano Varko Adhunodita. Jimha Prayam Vyavaratam Satyamishram Sahardam Pitramata Suhidbhatra Dampatinam Chakalkanam. All ordinary transactions and dealings become polluted with cheating, even between friends. And in the family affairs, there are always misunderstanding between fathers, mothers, and sons, between well-wishers and between brothers. Even between husband and wife, they are always strained and quarrel. Purport. A conditioned living being is endowed with 4 principles of malpractices. What are these? Prabhupada presents it differently in different purports. Namely, errors, insanity, inability, and cheating. Who knows what are these 4 principles of Prabhupada, as here says, malpractice? Another innovative way of presenting it. What are these 4 malpractices? Bolo, it is very basic. All of you should be knowing. Come on. You know this inside out. What are the 4 deficiencies that the conditioned soul has? I'm shocked. Yes, Ramya?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. First one is cheating propensity.
Okay.
The second one is imperfect senses.
Actually, first is the imperfect senses. Yes. Second,
Second one is making errors always.
yeah.
Hmm.
Because the senses are imperfect, they are prone to illusion. Yes?
Mama.
Your daughter was saying also something. Yeah, she's saying the same thing. Yeah, what are the other 2? There, Shilpa?
Yes, Prabhuji. Though one is having that mistake propensity, still he say something that is cheating. And fourth one is illusion. Illusion, Prabhuji.
Illusion is already done. What are the 4? Chronologically.
Prabhuji, first is imperfect senses, and because of that, one commit mistakes.
Yes.
Though one commit mistakes, still he doesn't accept, and that is cheating propensity. And fourth one is illusion.
Yeah, okay. Who knows the Sanskrit terms? There are 4 Sanskrit terms. Prabhupada writes it many times in many purports. Prabhupada speaks about it many, many times. First is Brahma. Then there is Pramad, Vipralipsa, and Karnapatva. आपने नहीं सुना? Are you hearing for the first time? Brahma, Pramad, Vipralipsa, and Karnapatva. These are the 4 imperfections that every conditioned soul has. And this cheating practice is there in the conditioned soul because they are in the material world primarily due to their being imbued with the unnatural desire to lord it over the material world. A living being in his pure state is not conditioned by the laws of material nature. Because in his pure state, he is conscious that a living being is eternally subservient to the Supreme Being, and that is always good for him to remain subservient instead of falsely trying to lord it over the property of the Supreme Lord. In the conditioned state, the living being is not satisfied, even if he actually becomes the lord of all that he serves, which he never becomes. And therefore he becomes the victim of all kinds of cheating, even by his nearest and most intimate relations. In such an unsatisfactory state of affairs, there is no harmony even between father and son or between husband and wife. But all these contending difficulties can be mitigated by one process, and that is the devotional service of the Lord. The world of hypocrisy may be checked only by counteraction through devotional service to the Lord and nothing else. Maharaj Yudhishthir, having observed the disparities, conjectured and the disappearance of the Lord from the earth. Nimittani atyarshitani kale tu anugate nirnam lobhadya adharma prakritim drishtva uvacha anujam nripa. In course of time, it came to pass that people in general became accustomed to greed, anger, pride, etc. Maharaj Yudhishthira, observing all these omens, spoke as follows to his younger brother. Such a pious king as Maharaj Yudhishthira at once became perturbed when there were such inhuman symptoms as greed, anger, irreligiosity, and hypocrisy rampant in society. It appears from the statement that all these symptoms of degraded society were unknown to the people at that time, and it was astonishing for them to have experienced them with the advent of Kali Yuga or the age of Varl. So all this symptom, the inauspicious symptoms, and not only the symptoms, such dealings or such exchanges become rampant. Yudhishthira uvacha sampresito dwarkayam jikshnur didirkshaya ज्ञातुं च पुण्य श्लोकस्य कृष्णस्य च विचेष्टिता. Maharaj Yudhishthira said to his younger brother Bhimsen, I sent Arjun to Dwarka to meet his friend and to learn from the personality of Godhead Krishna of his program of work. Kata sapta adhunamasa Bhimasena tavar anujaha Nayati kasya vahetur Naham vede dhamanjasa. Since he departed, 7 months have passed. Gata sapta adhuna masa. So since Arjuna left to bring the information from Dwarika, it has been 7 months and yet he has not returned. I do not know factually how things are going there. Api deva rishina narada sakalayam upastitha yadatmano angam akrita bhagavan utisir shakshati. In the beginning, is the Lord going to quit his earthly pastimes? As Dev Rishi indicated, has the time really already arrived? As we have discussed many times, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, has many plenary expansions, and each and every one of them, although equally powerful, execute different functions. In the Bhagavad Gita, there are different statements by the Lord, and each of these statements is meant for different plenary portions or portions of the plenary portions. For example, Shri Krishna, the Lord, says in the Bhagavad Gita, whenever and wherever there is decline in religious practice, O descendant of Bharata, and a predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I incarnate myself. Bhagavad Gita 4.7. To deliver the faithful and to annihilate the miscreant also, and to establish the principles of occupational duty, I appear in every age. 4.8. What is the verse? 4.8. Full verse. Bolo quickly. Why are you taking so much time? 4.8 नहीं पता. Yes, Pradeep
प्रभु जी
Prabhu.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु
First Pradeep, Prabhu.
परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे।
4.9 is Janma Karma Cha Me Divyam. Janma Karma Cha Me Divyam. If I should cease to work, then all humanity would be misdirected. I would also be the cause of creating unwanted population, and I would thereby destroy the peace of all sentient beings. 3.24. Who knows this verse? Please recite without seeing the book. Which verse is this from the 3rd chapter? We have covered 3rd chapter so many times. No one knows. Yadi aham na varteyam. That is how the verse begins. Oh, this is 3.24 is Utsadeyur ima loke na kuryam karma chedaham sankarasya chakartasyam upanyam imam praja. If I did not perform prescribed duties, all this world would be put to ruination. I would be the cause of creating unwanted population, and I would thereby destroy the peace of all living beings. There's one more which is coming from the 3rd chapter only. Whatever actions the great man performs, common men follow, and whatever standard he sets by exemplary acts, all the words pursue. This is very famous verse. This you must be knowing. Whatever action a great man performs, common men follow. Again from the 3rd chapter. Bolo. Yes, Nirmala ji, boliye.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी दंडवत प्रणाम।
धन्यवाद।
यद यद आचरति श्रेष्ठ तत्तत् इवातरे जनः स यत् प्रमाणं कुरुते लोकस्तत् अनुवर्तते।
Yes. आपने देख के बोला?
जी प्रभु जी।
हाँ, देख के तो सब बोल देंगे। चलो आपको के लिए क्या छूट है, क्योंकि हमने आज भगवत गीता नहीं पढ़ी। हमने इनको 3 साल तक हम लोगों ने भगवत गीता पढ़ा। कोविड में क्या 2020 से 19 से स्टार्ट किया था। रविंद्र प्रभु का स्टार्ट किया था 19 में स्टार्ट किया था ना, जब कोविड आया ही आया था। 20 में
19 तो दिसंबर से मैंने ज्वाइन किया था।
आपने ज्वाइन किया था दिसंबर से, हमने पहले शुरू कर दिया था
जी।
आपने दिसंबर से ज्वाइन किया था। यद यद आचरति श्रेष्ठा तत्तत् एव तरो जना यह सत् प्रमाणम कुरुते लोकस्तद अनुवर्तते। All the above statements by the Lord apply to different planetary portions of the Lord, namely his expansions such as Sankarshana, Vasudev, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, and Narayan. These are all he himself in different transcendental expansion, and still the Lord as Krishna functions in different sphere of transcendental exchange with different grades of devotees. And yet Lord Krishna, as he appears once every 24 hours of Brahma's time, or after a lapse of, I don't know how much it is 8,640,000
Million.
solar years in each and every universe. And all his transcendental pastimes are displayed in each and every universe in a routine spool. But in that routine spool, the functions of Lord Krishna, Lord Vasudeva, etc. are complex problems for the layman. There is no difference between the Lord's self and the Lord's transcendental body and his expansions who execute different activities. When the Lord, however, appears in his person as Lord Sri Krishna, is very important. This principle is very important, what Prabhupada is quoting here. When the Lord, however, appeared in his person as Lord Sri Krishna, all his other plenary portions also join him by his inconceivable potency called Yogmaya. And thus the Lord Krishna of Vrindavan is different from Lord Krishna of Mathura or the Lord of Dwarka. The Virat Roop of Lord Krishna is also different from him by his inconceivable potency. The Virat Roop exhibited on the battlefield of Kurukshetra is the material conception of his form. Therefore, it should be understood that when Lord Krishna was apparently killed by the bow and arrow of a hunter, the Lord left his so-called material body in the material world. The Lord is Kevalya, and for him there is no difference between matter and spirit, because everything is created from him. Therefore, disputing one sort of body or accepting another body does not mean that he is like the ordinary living being. All such activities are simultaneously one and different by his inconceivable potency. When Maharaj Yudhishthira was lamenting the possibility of his disappearance, it was just in pursuance of the custom of lamenting the disappearance of a great friend. But factually, the Lord never quits his transcendental body, as is misconceived by less intelligent persons. Such less intelligent persons have been condemned by the Lord himself in Bhagavad Gita, and they are known as mudhas. What is the verse? Less intelligent persons have been condemned by the Lord himself in Bhagavad Gita. Bolo?
7:15.
Boliye? Yes. Priyanka and Ravindra Prabhu?
Prabhu, in 7th chapter, Abhijananti Mam Mudha.
Yeah, Abhijananti Mamura, Manushin Tanu Mahashritam, Param Bhavam Ajanantam. Such less intelligent persons have been condemned by the Lord himself in Bhagavad Gita, and they are known as mudhas. Abhijananti Ma Muhudas, Manushim Tanu Mahashritam. Param Bhavam Ajanantam. That the Lord left his body means that he left again his plenary portion in the respective dhamas, transcendental abode, as he left his Virat Roop in the material world. Hare Krishna, I'll stop here. So, seeing all these inauspicious signs, the omens, the hint of degradation, Maharaj Yudhishthira had a hint that Krishna is departing, or he is decided to return home to his own abode. Hare Krishna. Any question or any discussion? Okay, yes, Manoram Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, isn't the purport Srila Prabhupada has written that Lord Krishna is different in Vrindavan, Mathura, and Dwarka.
Yes.
So, how to understand this, Prabhupada? The same Krishna we see, he went to Dwarka, and but then how it is a different thing?
Yes. And in some places, Prabhupada criticizes also to think that they are different. See, read it very carefully. Prabhupada says there is no difference between the Lord's self, the Lord's transcendental body, and his expansions who execute different activities. But the Lord, however, appears in his personal as Lord Sri Krishna. His other primary portions also join him by his inconceivable potency called Yogmaya. And thus the Lord Krishna of Vrindavan is different from Lord Krishna of Mathura or the Lord Krishna of Dwarka. Why? Because of his transcendental pastimes. The pastime that he displays in Vrindavan, they are most enchanting, most captivating. But in Mathura and Dwarka, there is a change in his mood. The mood is of Aishwarya, and in Vrindavan it is of Madhurya. That is a major change. Okay, I cannot comment much on this. For in some of the purport, Prabhupada is condemned to think of so that three are different. Actually, it is the same person. Here Prabhupada is mentioning different. Prabhupada mentions because of Leela, because of pastime. The pastime that he performed in Vrindavan, he never performed or repeated it anywhere else. Okay. I can say on this much only. Hare Krishna. Okay, so we'll close. And Ramya Mataji,
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
you'll give the presentation tomorrow.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Which chapter?
6th chapter, Prabhuji.
6th chapter. And who has the 7th chapter? The son of Drona punished.
Prabhuji, next is Madan Sarovar Prabhuji.
Okay, I think he has left. You have informed him?
Yes,
I'm
sir.
there, Prabhuji. I'm there.
Okay. Okay, your video, etc. So you will also be prepared. Ramya will give tomorrow, and we will see. Yeah, in another 2-3 days time, your presentation will come. 9th is Pranab's. Pranab, आपका 9th है?
Yes, Prabhuji, 9th.
And Sonika is 10th.
No, Prabhuji, 10th मेरा है प्रभुजी.
Okay. तो फिर बीच में गैप कैसे आ रहा?
8th will be Sonika Mataji.
8th is Sonika ना, not Pranav. Pranav आपका कौन सा है?
9th, Prabhuji, 9th.
Okay. Okay. Okay, thank you very much. And please, everyone, initiate for book distribution. Start. Don't wait. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.